Chair Bolton, you're on mute.
Thank you. I will start again. I apologize.
No problem.
I would like to call to order the July 15, 2021 Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors meeting. This meeting is being conducted electronically pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.263 and MCL 15.263A 1B. At this time, may I ask for a call to order? Excuse me, a roll call. When your name is called, if you could please also say what city and county you are currently taking the meeting from.
Thank you, Chair Bolton. Director Bear.
Here from City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County.
Director Bogan.
City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, here.
Director Bolton.
President, City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County.
Director Brown.
Here, City of Portage, Kalamazoo County.
Director Escamilla.
President, City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County.
Vice Mayor Griffin. Director Gulau.
Here, Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Hess.
Here, Kalamazoo Township, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Middleton.
Present here in the city of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County.
Director Novotny.
Here in the city of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Owens.
President, Alamo Township, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
May I have a motion to excuse absent members?
Director Middleton, so moved.
Director Hess, support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, please respond with aye.
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 Any opposed? Item C is adoption of the formal agenda. May I have a motion, please, to approve the formal agenda?
Director Escamilla, so moved.
Support Novotny.
Been moved and supported. All in favor, please respond with aye.
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 We are approving both the May 20th and the June 17th, 2021 minutes. Hopefully everyone has had an opportunity to review those. Are there any questions or changes to those minutes? Seeing that there are none, may I have a motion to approve the May 20th and June 17th minutes?
Director Middleton, so moved.
Director Bogan, support.
It's been moved and supported. All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
New business. The official swearing in of Rachel Chatterton Bear as new director for the Economic Development Corporation and Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Boards of Directors. Clerk Borling will lead the swearing in.
Thank you. This is Scott Borling, Kalamazoo City Clerk. Director Bear, could you please raise your right hand and repeat after me? I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of Director of the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority
of the office of Director of the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority
and Economic Development Corporation
and Economic Development Corporation
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome, Director Bear, and congratulations. Next, we will have approval of a recommendation to the city clerk to renew the marijuana business permit renewal application for Compassionate Care by Design. I'm not sure, is there information being provided for That by the committee?
Yeah, I'll give a staff report, Chair Bolton. The highlights. This is an adult use retailer, compassionate care by design. This is their renewal. They have provided job descriptions and salaries for all their positions in Kalamazoo. They currently have 14 employees and they pride themselves on supplying their employees a livable wage and offering all their employees health benefits. Of their 14 employees, 64% of the residents are 64% are residents of the city of Kalamazoo, and 64% are either people of color or women. As a company, they focus on making sure that they give everyone equal opportunities and keeping a good employee mix. Another area of focus is giving employees a chance to move up within their organization. 2 of their shift leaders started as entry level, as did one of their former managers. They also push internal advancement opportunities and always post jobs internally first. Since 2019, Compassionate Care by Design has made donations to the Kalamazoo Gospel Mission, the YWCA, the SPCA, Kalamazoo Parks and Recreation, Feed the Fight. They've hosted a blood drive, given money to Kalamazoo Public Schools, Feeding America, West Michigan Cancer Center, Veterans Services, GFM Synergy Center, Loaves and Fishes, the Last Prisoner Project, and the Humane Society of Kalamazoo. Compassionate Care by Design is not in default with the city. Compassionate Care by Design does not have applications and instead just requests resumes when hiring so they can effectively.
Thank you, PJ. Are there any questions by the directors or discussion? Seeing that there is not any, may I have a motion to approve a recommendation to the city clerk to renew the marijuana business permit renewal application for Compassionate Care by Design?
This is Director Owens. So moved.
Director Brown, support.
It's been moved and supported. This will require a roll call vote.
I think Paul is
Frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here at the office too. So yep, he gonna have to jump back in.
I can do that roll call in place of PJ. Give me 1 second. All right. Bear,
Yay.
Bolton,
Yes.
Bogan,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Escamilla,
Yes.
Gula,
Yes.
Hess,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Novotny,
Yes.
and Owens.
Yes.
Thank you.
I wanted to do yay because that sounds a lot better. That sounds like we're like in the British High Court.
Nobody told me what words I'm supposed to use. So that was my best guess.
That was good. That was good.
Still works.
It's the curse of the top of the alphabet.
Yes. The motion has been approved and thank you. Next, we will have a approval of a recommendation to the city clerk to renew the marijuana business permit renewal application for Woods Cultivation LLC. Hopefully PJ has been able to get unfrozen. If
Now,
not,
PJ, you're on mute.
Sorry, thanks, Jamie. I'm going to walk over to Antonio's office to get on his computer. My apologies. It's getting Wi-Fi. No.
can you hear me? Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that all. Requested renewals are for a medical Class C grower permit, and that's 1,500 plants, and an adult use Class C grower permit, that's 2,000 plants. Woods Cultivation has provided job descriptions and salaries for all their positions. They currently have 32 employees, with all but one being full-time. The starting wage is 14 an hour. They provide their employees with paid time off, health, dental, vision, insurance. They also offer employees paid volunteer time. They have a 90-day training program so employees understand all aspects of the operation, and this helps them to develop their careers within the industry. Woods Cultivation is one of the only licensed cannabis facilities in the state of Michigan owned by people of color. They make diversity a priority in their hiring process. Currently, over 50% of Woods employees identify as women or people of color. 100% of their executive and management staff identify as women or people of color as well. Half of their employees are residents of City of Kalamazoo. Woods Cultivation has committed to donating $10,000 to causes, $10,000 a year to causes within the community. They have donated to the Women's Shelter, Acorn, Michigan Cannabis Freedom Coalition, and the Michigan State University Veterans Garden. Employees have also volunteered at Loaves and Fishes, Kalamazoo Parks for Kalamazoo Parks Cleanup, and KNC Butterfly Garden. Woods is not in default with the city. Woods Cultivation does not ask applicants if they've had a criminal conviction on their job description. They've passed their fire and zoning inspections in January as part of their process or permit renewal. The community benefits meeting took place on June 22nd. Woods Cultivation presented to the Cannabis Committee on July 13th. This comes to the EDC board with a favorable recommendation from the Cannabis Committee. Representatives from Woods Cultivation are here to answer any questions the board might have. And I'd open it up to the board.
Thank you, PJ. Are there any questions by the directors or comments? I would like to thank the Woods Cultivation LLC for attending. Is there anything you would like to say?
No, we just definitely appreciate the opportunity to meet with you guys again and continue to look forward to working with the City of Kalamazoo as we continue to grow. And once again, through the community benefits meeting, we're always looking for opportunities to work with you guys and find ways that we can engage more citizens for either employment opportunities or volunteer opportunities within the city.
Thank you again. So at this time, may I ask for a motion to approve a recommendation to the city clerk to renew the marijuana business permit renewal application for Woods Cultivation LLC?
Director Brown, so moved.
Support by Novotny.
It's been moved and supported. This will also require a roll call vote.
Forgive me, I left my sheet in the other room, so if I'm a little out of order. Director Bear,
Yes.
Director Bogan,
Yes.
Director Bolton,
Yes.
Director Brown,
Yes.
Director Gulau,
Yes.
Director Hess,
Yes.
Director Escamilla,
Yes.
Director Novotny,
Yes.
and Director Owens.
Yes.
Don't forget Lucas.
Director Middleton, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, PJ. The motion has been approved. Item 4 is approval of the appointment of Mr. Swift to the EDC Cannabis Permit Renewal Committee. PJ, do you have information on that, please?
Yes, you received a little memo from Antonio in your packet, but we met with Mr. Swift a few weeks ago. This nomination comes from the Cannabis Committee. Mr. Swift is a longtime resident of Kalamazoo, over 28 years. He's a graduate of Loy Norix and also Western Michigan with a computer science degree. Currently working as an engineer and business owner of a licensed cultivation facility that's located in the township. He's experienced in multiple avenues of the medicinal industry, which includes cultivating, processing, genetics, etc. And as a local to the community, as a local in the community and a social equity applicant, his passion is supporting the community. We're happy to have him. And Mr. Swift, would you like to say anything or introduce yourself to the board?
Good morning, all. No, I think you really hit the key points for me. Like I said, my passion is supporting the local community and focusing on the local community, especially as the medicinal and recreational industry continues to expand and we have outsiders starting to come in. I want to make sure that the money and profits and the culture around this industry is focused on Kalamazoo and Kalamazoo only.
Thank you.
Thank you, PJ and Mr. Swift. Are there any questions by the directors or comments?
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
At this time, I ask for a motion to appoint Mr. Swift to the EDC Cannabis Permit Renewal Committee.
Director Owens, so moved.
Director Brown, support.
It's been moved and supported. This will also require a roll call vote.
Director Baer,
Yes.
Director Bogan,
Yes.
Director Bolton,
Yes.
Director Brown,
Yes.
Director Escamilla,
Yes.
Director Goulart,
Yes.
Director Hess,
Yes.
Director Middleton,
Yes.
Director Novotny,
Yes.
Director Owens.
Yes.
Motion has been approved. Thank you. Item F is old business. Is there any old business?
No old business.
Communication and announcements. Are there any communication or announcements by the staff or directors? Oh, excuse me, by the staff, excuse me.
I don't have anything. Anybody else? I think we're good.
Citizen comments? Do we have any citizen comments?
There are no citizen comments at this time.
Are there any director comments?
This is Director Middleton. I just wanted to, again, thank the committee for your efforts to streamline this process ahead of these meetings, and PJ as well. Since we first started this process, these meetings have gotten a lot easier from our perspective, and that's because you all have taken your time away from these meetings to vet these things ahead of time. So I appreciate your efforts, and welcome to you, Mr. Swift. It sounds like you're going to be a great addition to the committee. So we appreciate you volunteering your time to assist with this as well.
Thank you, Director Middleton. Well said, and I agree. This has helped our meeting immensely. Thank you. Are there any other director comments? If there are not, then we are officially adjourned. Thank you.
Good job, Nate.
Thank you.
We can transition over, and Chair Hess will be leading us through the Brownfield agenda.
Okay, so yeah, if any of those members that don't want to be here, free to take off. We will call to order the July 15th Brownfield Redevelopment Authority Board of Directors meeting. This meeting is being conducted electronically pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15263 and MCL 15263A 1B. We will start with a roll call.
Thank you. We'll start with Director Baer.
Present from the city of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Bogan.
President, City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, great state of Michigan.
Director Bolton. You may be on mute.
I apologize. I am present. City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, State of Michigan.
Thank you. Director Brown,
Present, City of Portage, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Escamilla,
Present, City of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Vice Mayor Griffin, Director Gulau. Director Gulau did let us know he had a meeting this morning that he couldn't reschedule. Chair Hess,
Here, Kalamazoo Township, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
Director Middleton,
Present here in the city of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County.
Director Novotny,
Here in the city of Kalamazoo, Kalamazoo County, Michigan.
and Director Owens.
Patty let me know that she had to step away.
Thank you.
Still good for, yeah, I think we have a quorum still. So, looking for a motion to approve absent members.
Director Brown, so moved.
Support by Novotny.
This will require a voice vote. All in favor, aye, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, on to the formal agenda. We are looking for a motion to approve the formal agenda. All in favor? Or, sorry, motion to approve.
Director Bolton, motion to approve.
Middleton, support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, item D, we are looking for approval of the meeting for minutes, May 20th and June 17th. This will require a motion.
Director Escamilla, moved.
Director Bolton, support.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, on to new business. Item 1 is the approval of the First Amendment of the purchase and sale agreement between River Caddis Development LLC and the BRA for the property at 508 Harrison Street. Do we have any presentation or discussion on this, Jamie?
Yes, Chair Hess, I can start us off. So this is a continuation, as you know, from your meeting in May where the board voted to give a 90-day extension to River Caddis as they are pursuing new financing arrangements for the project they have at 508 Harrison and 660 Go Road. And so what had to happen sort of after that extension was to make an amendment to that purchase and sale agreement to reflect those changes that are happening on the project because of the financing and the request to MISTA. And so we've had Rich Cherry here, Attorney Cherry, working on that amendment. And then we also have members of the River Caddis team. So I'll invite Kevin to talk a bit about the project and how it's going, how their application into MISTA is developing. They've been working closely with staff. We've been able to provide them with a few of the supporting materials that they need for that application. But I'll let Attorney Cherry start here with what the changes to the amendment look like that are in front of the board today.
Yeah. Good morning, directors. Richard Cherry, Miller Johnson. That's weird to say, but I almost said the city of Kalamazoo. Anyway, I just wanted to give you some high level highlights because the actual agreement is in your packet. But some of the changes are basically the purchase price that actually was increased because the number of affordability decreased. So, and as you can remember, part of our incentives policy is based on the number of affordability and the unit makeup of the project. So that is why the purchase price increase. Additionally, we requested an additional deposit from the developer, and that is also reflected in the purchase agreement. And so we extended the time as well So the what we call the due diligence or the investigation period has been extended, and it has and also has the extension that you guys can approve for additional 90 days. So it's essentially the same type of agreement, just, we just changed some of the terms to get us to the MISTA portion where the developer has the opportunity to get some financing approved. So unless there's any questions, I will turn it over to the River Caddis team.
Good morning. I think that's my cue.
Yep.
Thank you, Richard. This is Kevin McGraw, President of River Caddis. Also on the call with me is our attorney from Honigman Miller, Steve Ritma. If you have any legal questions for him or Richard, who worked well together, obviously, to get done what's in front of you. Also on the call is Robert Corner, who's the CEO of Standard Companies, one of the top 10 affordable housing companies in the country. We brought him on board because, as you guys all know from hearing from me before, this is a very complex transaction, especially with MISTA, the contamination, the precision heat, and everything else. Eagle just approved our pre-assessment funding, as Jamie knows, and so we're going forward with phase one as we speak. I'm going to let Robert talk about what's happening with our filing next Tuesday with MISTA, and also give some insight on the appraisal, which was the next bugaboo that we might have had, but MISTA is working with us and has shown that they're very committed to getting this done as an entire 4%. And I think it's worth emphasizing, especially for the public, that we're doing 222 units. 111 of those are affordable, and the other market rate units are helping clean up both sites. So you have two very contaminated sites with PFAS right next to the river that are undevelopable, and the market rate TIF is allowing us a very creative way of doing this and getting this all done. So I ask your approval of the motion today. I thank staff for continuing to work with us and the patience that we've had with us. Jamie, thank you very much for everything you've done, and you're very responsive when we're asking for materials, which for our submission. So thank you for that. I'm here for questions, but Robert, if you can chime in on the MISTA specific things, which you know a heck of a lot more than I'll ever know.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, committee members. When we were here 2 months ago, we kind of outlined a plan to go back into. I'm sorry, can you hear me? We outlined a plan to modify the application to MISTA to do 100% bond transaction without 9% credits. We kind of tinkered a little bit with the unit mix. And what we've done since then is we've updated our market study. We've come up with an appraisal with MISTA. We've updated our application, and we plan to submit tomorrow our updated application to MISTA. We're waiting for 1 or 2 documents to come in, so could be Monday or Tuesday, but I'm hoping tomorrow. We've been talking to MISTA more or less every week. I would say I feel better about where we are today than when I spoke with you 2 months ago. Interest rates have cooperated. Construction pricing is always a challenge, but at least lumber costs are seeming to settle down. Our rents are still holding at what we thought they would be. And my company in particular is very excited about the opportunity. We just feel like it's a really strong site after we clean it up and build these units, and it's a good use for the land. And it's exactly what we thought it would be. We're on track for a fall MISTA board approval of our transaction if they accept our application as we submit it. But literally every conversation we've had with them has been positive and trying to figure out how we could collaborate together to move this to closing. So we feel really good about where this amendment is that will give us the time we need to get it closed. And this should be the last amendment that we need to enter into this contract.
And one of the documents that we need to go forward is this document. So we'd love to, you've got it in your package with my signature on it already. So we just need Director Bolton's signature on it, and we're ready to submit that as part of the process. Thank you, guys.
So thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Robert. Any questions from directors for the River Caddis team?
this is Director Brown. I'll just say kind of what I said the last time, that this is a challenge site, and I think that no matter what developer ended up doing this, they'd run into similar problems, and I appreciate Kevin and your team hanging on and being persevering and pushing your way through. And I got my fingers crossed that you'll get this final approval from MISTA.
Any further comments or questions?
This is Director Middleton. I just wanted to comment briefly at our last meeting, and since that time, we've received input from community members regarding this project and regarding affordability. And I just wanted to touch on that briefly, particularly the information and the comments that were provided by Isaac. I would say that I share the concerns that were raised, and I think other members of the board as well, and I think River Caddis as well, are not pleased that the affordability mix that was originally proposed had to be changed. But I think given the circumstances and given the site conditions and what happened with regard to applications for funding and that sort of thing, that was a necessity. And I believe given the state of the site and given, again, as Mr. McGraw already stated, that this project is bringing many affordable units to the community, I still think that it's worthwhile to pursue. And in particular, I think the remediation of what is a pretty severely contaminated site is worthwhile and is commensurate with the charge of the Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. So though I do share those concerns and appreciate those members of the community that brought them to our attention, I still believe that it makes sense to pursue the project at this time. So I would just add that comment.
Thank you, Director Middleton. Any further questions or comments from directors? Okay, seeing none, this will require, we'll have a motion to approve the First Amendment to purchase the sale agreement between River Caddis Development LLC and the BRA for the property at 508 Harrison Street, and authorize the chair to sign. This is a roll call vote.
Director Hess, can I pause you for 1 second and just let me count? So we have run into a quorum problem. And I know Director Escobina Mila is going to abstain.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah, he's going to abstain though. And normally when you abstain for a conflict of interest, that person does not count towards your quorum. Is there any way we can get a director that dropped off to come back?
I'll ask Patty.
Okay.
Thank you, Director Brown.
And I'm sorry.
She may be the only one available.
Yeah. Good catch, Rich.
Thanks for recognizing that, Richard.
Yeah, I didn't want the vote to go through and someone challenges it.
Yeah, because the quorum, we need 7 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 1, 2, 3,
6.
I count 7.
6 voting members.
Okay, I have Patty Owens on the phone.
And Rich, I'll also comment, we are now at a full 11 board members in total
So yeah,
with Director
6.
Bear. So we can, I think, conduct our vote with 6.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, it turns out we don't need you.
Thanks for doing the math.
It was
Okay.
close.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I apologize.
No worries.
back to, we are looking for a motion to approve that first amendment for the purchase and sale agreement between River Caddis Development LLC and the BRA for the purchase of the property at 508 Harrison, and authorize the chair to sign.
Director Brown, so moved.
Director Middleton, support.
Moved and supported. This will require a roll call vote.
Bear,
Yes.
Bogan,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Escamilla,
Abstain because we are the designer for the project.
thank you. Chair Hess,
Yes.
Middleton,
Yes.
Novotny,
Yes.
and Owens is not here. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
motion
everyone, for
passes.
your
So
patience.
thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you being here this morning.
Thank you.
Good luck with Mishta.
Thank you very much.
Okay, moving on to item 2 in new business, looking at approval of a letter of planning commission supporting rezoning of a portion of the property at 333 East Alcott Street. Can we have some more information on that?
Yeah, Chair Hess. This was a later addition to your agenda. You didn't hear about this rezoning request earlier in the month because we found out sort of late last week that the developer we've been engaging with this year and that the Brownfield Authority engaged with 3 years ago is looking to do a October 1st application to MSHDA for low-income housing tax credits on this project. The state had for quite some time been unsure if they were going to do a fall round, and they did announce just recently that they are going to go ahead with that October deadline. I think everything for this project is still lined up for an October 1st application, and we're going to have a full presentation to you guys next month. That was our plan. And that we would also have more information on what the purchase option would look like for this property. But in order to meet that October 1st deadline, rezoning is going to happen here at the beginning, start the process here at the beginning of August. So I'll just talk briefly about the site here, which I know you guys are familiar with, especially board members who were with the board in 2018 when the project received approval from the Planning Commission. But I also have City Planner Anderson here with us today, and she can talk a bit about more of the planning context and our master plan and what the vision is for this area. So the parcel, again, is sort of what remains of performance paper at 333 East Alcott. The property that's been most marketable since the Brownfield has sold different parcels for the county's Health and Community Services building, for the department, most recently the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The sort of remaining pieces are both at the northern portion of the property along Reed Street. And the one that we're talking about is east of Portage Creek at Reed and Belford. And we received a survey of the property just recently. It's going to be about 6.5 acres. It would include a lot of the green space right down to the creek where there is a restrictive covenant. And right now the property is zoned as manufacturing. And so we need to look to get that rezoned to an appropriate zoning district for the project that's moving forward. So City Planner Anderson, if you maybe can talk about this property, maybe you can give us a little bit of a recap on what happened in 2018 and the approval that was granted then but not moved forward.
Thank you, Jamie. This is Christine Anderson. I'm the city planner. So this property, Hollander Development came forward in 2018 with a request to rezone a smaller portion of this parcel. I believe that was about 2 3/4 acres at the time for a primitive supportive housing project. So that's housing. It's not short-term housing, but it is housing that is designed to support a specific population. At the time, they came forward with 51 units. They requested RM24, which means approximately 24 dwelling units per acre. The Plan Commission approved the request because though it's currently zoned M1 manufacturing, the master plan and the future land use plan have this property as shifting away from its industrial, I guess, history to be more opportunity for housing or mix of commercial uses and housing. It's noted in the future land use plan as neighborhood edge, and it's surrounded by residential. So the zoning, the request for RM24 in 2018 met those requirements. It was approved, but the project was paused before it got to City Commission because there were concerns about the number of units that were all focused on on serving one population. Hollander has come back to us. Again, they now are looking for a larger parcel, which from a zoning perspective is beneficial because there's a restrictive covenant, as you know, which cannot be applied to their impervious coverage ratio. So they need a little more land area to make sure that they're meeting all the zoning requirements. So that's one of the reasons for the request for the larger parcel. They're coming back with 48 units, of which about 25% will be permanent supportive housing, and the other 75% will serve a variety of residents at a variety of income levels based on the MSHA requirements. So that's where they are now. They have done outreach. They've spoken with the Edison neighborhood board, and I believe a letter is coming from them of support. And they'll be doing some door knocking again. They did so prior to their last review by Plan Commission. Does anybody have any questions about the zoning or the land use, either now or what's proposed, that I could answer?
Thank you, City Planner Anderson, and thanks for joining us this early morning. I just wanted to mention that I stuck a draft letter in the agenda packet. That was very close to just a modification of the letter that the BRA provided supporting rezoning of the property back in 2018. And I would say, this is similar to what the board did for the property at 315 East Frank, right? Another Brownfield owned property that's zoned manufacturing, but clearly is going to be marketed and used in a different way in the future, and in alignment with the Brownfield feels is marketable in that area. So Chair Hess, if we don't have questions, you can open it up for discussion.
Yeah, any discussion, comments, or questions from directors?
I think it all looks pretty clear to me.
Director Bogan, I will have to abstain from this vote.
Thank you, Director Bogan. Okay, we are looking for a motion to approve a letter of support to Planning Commission and authorize staff to submit.
Director Brown, so moved.
Director Bolton, support.
Been moved and supported. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. Item 3 under new business, we are consideration of a recommendation to give Community Planning and Economic Development Director the ability to waive conflicts of interest for legal representation on behalf of the BRA after seeking guidance and approval from the City Attorney's Office. Jamie, I'll let you go ahead and explain.
Thank you, Chair Hess. So this item's on the Brownfield's agenda because we're technically using outside counsel now for a period, using Attorney Cherry at Miller Johnson. And so we haven't come up against conflicts of interest between differing firms in the past. Using the City Attorney's Office, we had a set of attorneys who always represented only the city. So I'll let Rich jump in here and explain a little bit about what this motion means and what authority you all would be delegating to both the director and the attorney's office.
So like Jamie said, when I used to work for the city, we only had one client, and that was the city. So there was really no conflicts. And so now what I've grown accustomed to is always doing a conflict check when Jamie or Rebecca asked me to do a project that includes the developer, to see if Miller Johnson has represented that developer, in an adverse capacity. And so this, in order to not come to the body for every single conflict that may arise, because as you know, the city touches on pretty much everything that happens in the city, that where it be zoning, planning, or in this capacity, real estate deals and or brownfield plans. And so what you're delegating is the ability for Rebecca to seek side on your behalf if there's a conflict, for a waiver. And all the waiver means is basically if there is a waivable conflict where Miller Johnson had represented a developer in the past in some capacity, that the BRA would waive a conflict of interest with, so Miller Johnson can keep representing you on this particular project that wouldn't conflict with the developer. And normally our deals are not contentious. I guess they could get that way, but for the most part, they're in my experience, they have not been contentious. So Rebecca could seek advice from the city attorney's office to see if that is indeed a conflict that the BRA /city should waive. So.
Thank you, Rich, and thank you for staying on. We have a history of wanting to hang on to our attorneys here in the Brownfield Board. So any questions or comments from directors?
I sign those waivers all the time, so this isn't unusual.
Okay, so we are looking for a motion to give Community Planning and Economic Development Director the ability to waive conflicts of interest for legal representation on behalf of BRA and seeking guidance and approval from the City Attorney's Office.
So moved by Novotny.
Support Brown.
Moved and supported. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion passes. On to old business. Any old business? No old business. On to communications and announcements. Any communications or announcements? None. Any staff updates?
Well, I did want to jump in here real quick because I know this is next month. I think the end of the month, we're going, the virtual part of this is going to go away. So I think we have to prepare to meet in person. And I know, well, I don't know, but how directors are going to feel about that. But I think the virtual part of this is going to go away shortly. So I think everyone needs to be thinking about that, and how we, and staff as well, how we're going to facilitate these meetings. If I'm still here, but I'm sure city attorney will jump in and advise you on that as well. But yeah, and I unfortunately not a part of the cabinet meetings anymore to know exactly what their plan is, but I know it is coming to an end shortly. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Thank you, Rich.
I can't wait.
Yeah, and Jamie, any what type of communication will we receive as directors as when our presence will be required?
Yes, so I think we're going to know a lot more here in the next couple of weeks. The City Commission brought up the idea of going back to in-person meetings, especially for the City Commission. They talked about that at their July 6th board meeting. And they decided to explore that more in their committee of the whole meeting that'll happen next Monday. And so I think at that meeting, we're going to learn a lot more about the direction that City Commission wants to move there. They had been entertaining the idea of all citizen boards and commissions going to face-to-face meetings in August. That's a little bit delayed, though they could make that vote, I think, next Monday, and it could still switch over somewhat quickly for meetings that haven't been noticed as virtual. This is one of those meetings that falls in kind of the middle, later part of the month, so it's possible. So keep an eye on email. I will certainly give you an update right after the meeting with City Commission next Monday. Certainly their emergency declaration that they're operating under would just naturally expire at the end of August. So staff and leadership have really been preparing that, and assuming that September we'd be going in person anyway. And so I'll try to give you as much lead time and information as possible. And I, at this time, I would assume we would be back in the community room, sort of the way we operated before the pandemic. They are talking about, if you keep track of kind of how the City Commission is making some decisions, they are thinking about being able to allow the public to comment by phone, as they have been doing during the pandemic. So we may have a little bit of mix of some of the old and some of the new. But again, I'll communicate that by email, and then you'll hopefully be getting enough notice, and I'll get all the details of when and where those meetings will take place. But I think August is really up in the air, and I would really be planning for September for sure.
Thank you, Jamie.
Comment.
Go ahead, Daniel.
We have a memo from the manager's office that I'll get to Jamie on this issue, and then she'll be able to provide it to the EDC and the BRA board. So you have more documentation on what the current recommendation is on what Jamie was just talking about.
Thank you, Antonio.
All right.
Any further communications or announcements? Staff updates.
I have just a few brief updates, helping to fill in kind of how these projects get wrapped up. Your board had a special meeting at the end of June to make a revision to the scattered site brownfield plan, having to do with some parcels that KNHS is developing. And so that plan, those amendments were approved at the July 6th City Commission meeting. And then also working with Attorney Cherry, thank you for your work. The Brownfield was able to close on the 3 parcels that the Brownfield had a purchase agreement with Mr. Credell Jackson of with the sign company there on Porter Street. So we've been able to sell those 3 parcels as well.
Thank you, Jamie. No further staff updates. Do we have any? Oh, go ahead, Antonio. Sorry. You're in the bottom.
Yeah, that's all right. Just wanted to let the EDC and BRA board. I want to thank Lucas and Jamari for participating in our RFQ committee for 140 South Everett Street. The committee did make a decision that we'll share with the community next week. But a recommendation for a developer has been selected. I talked to the winner of the selection yesterday, and I'll be following up today with today and tomorrow with the individuals that weren't selected because we had 3 great proposals. But of course, only one can be selected. But we'll hopefully be able to work with other developers as well on other projects in the community and maybe on BRA sites for redevelopment here in Kalamazoo. So I want to thank Lucas and Jamari for their participation. It was very welcome and hopefully not very stressful. And we pretty much took care of it in 30 days. And God bless you, Fritz.
Sorry.
No problem. And hopefully we'll have other development projects that we'll be able to bring forth to the EDC and BRA in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you, Antonio. Any idea when we'll be able to announce that?
It'll probably be next week, officially next week. We'll share it with the commission. Hopefully I'll be able to share it with them Monday so that they can share that information with the community.
Awesome. Any further updates from staff? Any citizen comments at this time?
Yes, we have one citizen comment.
My name is Richard Stewart, and I reside at 828 Portage Street. It's the former Pride Ambulance building complex, and I reside in the upper half and run my business in the lower half, and have a separate garage building that I'd like to rent out. I purchased the property about 3 years ago with the intent to just rehab it and use it as it was existing. After living here 3 years, the fire marshal's requiring me to install a $18,000 fire hydrant because during the redevelopment of Portage Street, the free fire hydrants are located too far away only because of the existing underground lines. Otherwise, the free ones would be close enough and I wouldn't have to incur this cost. So this was a surprise. And it's only the fire marshal that's requiring the install of a fire system because apparently they consider a change of use from when it was a 24-hour ambulance service to my home office setup. Anyway, I'd like to ask if the Brownfield program could be used to cover the cost of the $18,000 fire hydrant. So basically, there's going to be an extra fire hydrant on this block right next to another fire hydrant. But I've already paid the $1,500 to have it engineered, and I obtained an Eagle permit for the install. The time to do it would be during the Portage Road while it's torn out, and I'm just trying to find funding for the city required infrastructure. Thank you.
And that is the only public comment at this time.
Okay. Any director's comments? Go ahead,
I have a brief one. I apparently felt compelled to speak a lot today, so thanks to everybody for humoring me. But I just wanted to welcome Rachel. It's nice to have you and finally have you sworn in. So we appreciate you joining. And I just wanted to say that I came onto the board about a year ago. So my entire tenure's been in the age of COVID. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person and some of you meeting for the first time in person. So some return to normalcy.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Yeah, Lucas, I forget how tall you were when I saw you on the street the other day. So.
Yeah, I think everybody would like those sentiments. But I also, as the chair, wanted to welcome Director Bear. It's great to see some new faces and some nice turnover here, and we're looking forward to welcome you onto this board. Any other director's comments? If there, Rich, good. Okay. No, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a great day.